you say we have a look at the Marvel Select Savage Hulk? Now, I'm a big fan of these Marvel Select big figures, meaning Abomination, the Hulks. They're huge, they're heavy, and you get a lot for your money. I think the retail on these things is about 23, 24 bucks. Compare that to a say Hasbro or even old Toy Biz Marvel Legends. These are a steal. Now I have some other Hulks and an Abomination I want to compare that to. Compare this figure to, and we're gonna see where this thing stands. Well, I can tell you right now, it looks bigger in size than the previous Hulks that I've reviewed, and even bigger than the Abomination. And I think up until this point, as far as this scale goes, the Abomination was the heaviest figure that I owned, but I think this here is bigger and heavier. So what do you say we have a look at the box art here? Here's a nice illustration of a vintage Hulk there, and we have some cross cells of other Hulks. You have the Hulk here, which I do own that one. I do not own the gray Hulk. That's a Savage Hulk there. A little right up there. Maybe you can read it if you want to pause the video. And again, this is the Marvel Select Savage Hulk. And I believe, I better not say that until I look. I want to see the date on this thing. I can't see the date. 2015. 2015. Now, where this stacks up as far as chronological order and the other figures that I have of this girth, I don't know. Anyway, what do you say we get this out of the package and see how it stacks up? Alright, we have the Savage Hulk out of its package. Let's have a good look at him. Take a good look at his face there. See, I like the paint. I like the way they come in with the airbrush there inside the recesses of his arms. Nice dry brushing on his shirt there. His pants. It's just a huge, heavy figure. Before we go through the articulation, he comes with a pretty standard. I think this is pretty standard as far as the Hulk figures go for the Diamond Select. It's got a couple foot pegs in there. You can see footprints in there. He's got the foot pegs in there, so I mean, these figures don't need a display stand. They're so huge. And so we'll set that stand aside, go through his articulation. You're looking at it for the first time like I am. So side to side, not much movement on the head. He's just so girthy around the neck area, so you get a waist articulation. I just pinched my finger. The shoulder will go up and down, rotate all the way around. You get a bicep cut here. You can see a single joint in the elbow, and our hand will rotate 360 degrees. Moving down to the legs, get about that much kick out. You get no kick back, a little kick forward. Single joint in the knee, tight joint too, and a ratchet, which is nice. Wow, I love these joints on these big figs. Foot will just go up and down, no pivot side to side, no rotation whatsoever. Except, oh, you do get a rotation in the knee somewhat, which is nice, and a little bit of rotation inside the hip, but not too much. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through a couple of other of these Hulk figures that I have from Diamond Select and see how he fares up. So, alright, so we have Savage Hulk here. I want to bring over Red Hulk. Let's put the Red Hulk hands down. As you can see, Savage Hulk is bigger. He's bigger, he's taller, he's wider. Turn this around. As you can see, and yes, the Red Hulk's muscles are more pronounced, but the Savage Hulk, he's much wider. As you can see that there. And we'll go through wingspans too. I like the Red Hulk, but I thought his head was going to be too small. His head is actually quite small for his body. You look at the Savage Hulk. That's a wow. The more I look at that Savage Hulk, I think he's becoming pretty quickly one of my favorites. So we'll slide the Red Hulk over here out of the way, and over with the Green Hulk. And you can see even Savage Hulk's head is much bigger. He's much wider. We're gonna go through wingspans here in a minute. And much heavier. Savage Hulk is heavy. But yeah, again, I really like that Green Hulk there. So let's set him up like so, out of the way. Now, Abomination. Oops, Spidey just fell. This figure is heavy, it's massive. His paws are gigantic. I thought this was the heaviest figure I owned in this selection. Well, it was until this guy. This guy is massive. So, taking that stance there, let's get his arms up in the air just like Abomination. And see how the wingspans are. I mean, Abomination's got some nasty claws on him. But you have to take my word for it. I don't know if you're seeing it, but the Savage Hulk's shoulders are much broader. He's a little bit taller, and simply because Abomination's molded in a forward hunched position. But I think this Hulk here, Savage Hulk, if you're looking at, you know, this, and if this were reality, I think he has a little bit more chance of taking out Abomination. It's just, these are so fun to collect. And again, I don't need the Marvel Legends. I need something that says, oh yeah, that's awesome. Because I'm not playing with these things, I'm just simply posing them and displaying them. And I think the Savage Hulk here is probably my favorite Hulk out of the Select series so far, from the three that I own. I don't own the Gray Hulk. The reason why I don't own the Gray Hulk is because he didn't like the head sculpt. But yeah, I mean, this thing is massive. So let's move these guys. Oh, just for shits and giggles, when I display this, I usually have this Spider-Man up here like this, as if he's fighting him. Kind of like that. Let me move this around here. So yeah, this is also a Diamond Select. I think this is the Spider-Man Homecoming. And my son actually bought this figure and he hated it because of the cuts and the articulation. But I don't mind it, because once he's up there, I really don't notice it. So anyway, that's the Diamond Select Spider-Man. Lots of joints in this one, a lot of articulations, but the way they did it leaves you with a little bit of a huh, you know. It's okay though. So let's move these guys out of the way, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Yeah, so as far as giant monster figures go, I don't mean monster as in I mean huge, girthy, lots of plastic, solid construction, built very well. Superhero figures, I would highly recommend the Savage Hulk. I mean, look at the look on his face. That's pretty wicked. And again, he's not, you know, he's not cheap. And this is like a $25 figure. What I mean by he's not cheap is this is a lot of toy, a lot of action figure here. 25 bucks. Again, comparing it to a Hasbro Marvel Legends for 20 bucks, 23 bucks out the door with tax. No, this is nice. This is really nice. So yeah, that's been my look. See, my look. Yeah. My look at the 2015 Diamond Select Savage Hulk. A lot of figure for the money. I'm sure he's probably still around in comic book stores. I picked him up at a comic book store, and yeah, 23 bucks. I think he was 23 bucks out the door, and cheap. A lot of figure. All right, I'm gonna whip out.